Last but not least, this is a segment I like to call Understanding Thy Enemy, starring Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. As some of the discourse around the NBA Finals is who was MVP, but in reality, the 2024 Boston Celtics reflected more of a team similar to the 1986 Boston Celtics, the 2004 Detroit Pistons, and especially the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, where you could make a valid argument up to 4 players could have possibly won MVP. That being Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Derek White, and Jrue Holiday. And depending on the matchup, it wouldn't be far-fetched to throw KP in there. But they have 4+ players who could possibly win an MVP in the finals. And if you take a look back to the previous championship teams I just named, I would say the 2024 Boston Celtics are very similar to the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, minus Tim Duncan on the downhill of his prime. We've never really seen this before because Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown are entering their primes. So things have to be put into proper context about this team because there is a lot of discourse around Tatum not averaging a certain amount of points and is he a 1A? That topic produces the same discourse as a Julius Randle hate. Those two subjects seem to create a level of discourse online that gets all the media outlets going and the algorithms triggered. But interesting enough, Jason Tatum had did a sit down with Carmelo Anthony where he was asked about a few things. And Tatum got to understand this is a very unique space and time that we're in right now. Him entering Knick land, especially after winning that championship. He's going to be questioned on a few things. But you guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
Whatever happens in Boston, it's on him.
Oh, because you was there first.
It's on him. It ain't on, it's on JB, but nigga, it's on, it's on Slim over here. He knows that.
Young Dog Caesar. He knows that.
He knows that the heat and the pressure is on him. JB got to do what he got to do, but it's on, he got to carry that. He just got it.
You see the demeanor? You see the demeanor?
He did it already.
But now that you know it, you did it, you got to the top of the mountain. Are you surveying the landscape now? Because Knicks re-signed OG, got Mikal Bridges, PG with the Sixers. You know what I mean? That conference looking a little more now, you know what I'm saying? Coming in the next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you pay attention to that type of stuff? Are you like, man, fuck that. I'm locked in with my team and what we got to do. Or do you pay attention like, okay, they got homie over there. We got a game plan. This is a guy you got a game plan for.
No, I mean,
let me say this before he gives his answer. The Celtics had capitalized in acquiring a second insurance policy in Jrue Holiday. The Milwaukee Bucks had one of the biggest missteps I've ever seen for a franchise trying to compete for a championship, allowing Jrue Holiday to be in a position to be traded back to their rivals. And even after getting Jrue Holiday, the Celtics are still cashing in. They were able to get him to reconstruct his deal, taking less money for next season, and getting a longer-term deal, thus giving them breathing room to operate for an extra year without being under the second apron. And on top of all that, they were able to re-sign Derek White. So they are set up to be top dogs of the Eastern Conference, at least for the next 2 years, without getting locked up into whatever current roster they have. As long as they stay healthy, they are well set up to compete. As we've seen during the NBA Finals, their late first round to second round picks in Hauser and Pritchard definitely came through. Those are solid role players that they have on very team-friendly deals. Again, the Celtics are set up to compete, barring no injuries. Because after next season, they'll begin to get locked up on what type of trades they can make, what type of players they could acquire through free agency. They'll be pretty much set up like the Phoenix Suns, where they can only fish in the minimum player market.
no, I mean, it's twofold. Like, I see all the changes and people switching teams, and obviously teams is getting better. And that's every offseason. And you got to have like a appropriate fear or respect for your opponent, right? You don't never want to disrespect who you playing. But with that being said, it's like, we won. Like, when you win a championship, you get to talk how you want to talk. Like,
Respectfully.
Talk your shit, yeah.
they got to go through us.
Nah, but how much more of that from you though, champ?
Damn. This is what happened when you enter Knicks land. This podcasting space is very, very interesting. Because guys are going into battle against each other and then they're showing up, for the most part, pretty cordial. But Melo kind of put Tatum in the spot because he's like, you're not acting like you the top dog. And that's because it's a team collective. Make no mistake about it, Tatum and Jalen Brown okayed KP and Jrue Holiday coming to the team, thus crowding up the number of touches that they're going to get. In a way, they've accepted the community approach. But let's not mistake that for weakness. Tatum and Brown after these finals, no doubt, were in 100% control. They were calling the shots. These guys are well experienced, and this year's finals for them was pretty much a coming out moment as far as leadership. Maybe departure of Marcus Smart contributed to it. Who knows? But those guys were vocal as hell in the finals.
I want more of that from you because it's I don't want to cut you off.
Right.
I just want more of that from you. Like,
right.
You won. You did it. Okay, I done broke the ice. I'm in the door. I sit at a different level when it comes to a small group of people who've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? So you sit differently.
No, for sure.
Right? And this is my honest opinion and my honest observation. We want to see you more take on that role as being, I'm here. But I think a lot of people would say about you, yo, I want to see Jay like getting somebody's shit. Like I want to see him and fuck y'all. Like I want that's the next thing that people wants to see. And it's a great thing that we want to see that as competitors and as fans, but also he probably thinking like, man, I don't need to do that. Like I don't need to fuck her. What I'm gonna say? I just won. I don't care about yelling and doing all that.
Now, without the rah-rah shit, it probably doesn't look that way. When you look at what happened to Luka in those finals, yeah, they was up his ass. They was up his ass, no doubt. I've never seen the Mavericks under Luka just have their identity taken away like that. It could be a matchup thing, but they strategically definitely took the Mavericks completely off their game. And it took a Game 4 blowout with unbelievable shot making just for Dallas to win a game. So Tatum and Brown, they're pretty humble dudes, but at the end of the day, when you look at the film, they knew what they were doing out there. There's no doubt. There's been a maturation that's happened with those two, but it doesn't look like the Kobe Bryant MVP or the Michael Jordan MVP or Shaq MVP or Stephen Curry MVP, Kawhi Leonard on the Raptors MVP. It doesn't look like that. It's more of the San Antonio Spurs, Tony Parker winning MVP, Tim Duncan winning a couple MVPs, Kawhi Leonard winning an MVP. It looks more like that because on that Spurs team, you wouldn't be shocked if Ginobili won an MVP. So just that one team alone, they had 4 guys who could possibly win that award, and it wouldn't shock anybody.
That shit, like,
no, I definitely.
Do you feel like you have to? You feel like sometimes you don't exude enough personality that people may be like, I wonder what Jason Tatum is thinking. What's his personality? Do we have a personality?
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure you get all of those questions.
For sure. And
sometimes Tatum seems like he doesn't want to say the wrong thing and get canceled. He got to loosen up his collar a little bit.
For sure. And I see it all the time. Like, he's not demonstrative enough. He don't yell enough. He's not as loud as the other guys that we like watching. And it part of it is like, I'm who I am. Like, I've always been a laid back person. I'm not the loudest person in the room, but it was frustrating because it's like, I feel like some people would take that and take jabs at like my game or try to like, the game and me yelling ain't got nothing to do with it. And I get like, I'm nothing like Kevin Garnett. I used to love watching KG play. Like I like the shit talking, but sometimes that's just
totally
not
different.
That's not who I am.
Right.
But
enforcing it would be corny.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be somebody that I'm not. But like you said, there is a different feeling of like, I always felt like I was one of the best or the best player in the league, especially the last couple of years. But it was always a debate. But now it's like, yo, no, fuck that. I just won.
I believe in this.
I did what y'all said I could not do. So yeah, I'm not in that same conversation no more. I'm in a different room. I did the things that only a few people have ever done. So I definitely feel differently because it's like, y'all can't debate that. I won. Y'all can't argue with winning
Well,
the
guess
championship.
what? The new narrative is coming.
No, for sure.
Can he do it again?
Can he do it again?
Can he do
Can
it
they
again?
repeat?
For sure.
Can they defend?
Yeah, it's the
what I'm saying?
same. It's the same narrative
Yeah.
that happens all the time.
And it's going to be a narrative that Tatum and Jalen Brown will have to ignore, as the topic of a rift between those two seems to get going in the algorithm. Just like the division the media tries to stir up between Knicks fans and Julius Randle, it all gets the algorithm going. But Tatum definitely has evolved his playmaking skills from the 2022 finals loss against the Warriors. And he showed plenty of that against the Mavericks, especially when his shot wasn't falling. And it's making more sense why the Knicks took the approach of getting Mikal Bridges, along with the combination of getting Brunson to take a pay cut. Building out a well-balanced roster from the first all the way down to the seventh man seems to be the more plausible approach, with the Celtics sitting as top dogs. You know what? To get a better visual of what I'm talking about, let's just go to the tape.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
But going to the offensive side of the ball for the Boston Celtics in Game 4, as a team unit, they were not able to knock down shots, which made it a lot easier for the Mavs to defend the closeouts, even with slower defenders like Luka. But even through it all, the Celtics were still attempting more three-point shots, a lot of them being great open looks. Is that they just weren't falling. But Tatum and Brown showing a lot of maturation from the NBA Finals going up against the Golden State Warriors, because in games 4, 5, and 6, they were not able to make adjustments of the rotational defense of Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. And that caused them to settle for a lot of shots, especially Jason Tatum struggling just to play make for other teammates, as a lot of his passes were intercepted for steals. But these two have shown a great maturation, with Jason Tatum reading the game a lot better, not settling for shots, getting other teammates involved, as this roster is constructed in a way where the scoring onus will never necessarily be on him. And there's no reason for him to try to average 30 points a game when he has 4 other guys on the floor who could not only knock down three-point shots, but they could finish at the cup, take mid-range shots. It wouldn't make sense for him to try to play hero ball. And with Jalen Brown, he has shown the onus of being one of the vocal leaders of this team, especially on the defensive end with the departure of Marcus Smart. We've seen him make great plays throughout these finals and become that player that could be consistently reliable in crunch time situations with taking big shots, as we've seen it played out in Game 3. Long gone are the days of the Warriors finals in which a combination of Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green systematically took these guys out their game. Not only they have changed their approach, but they have come back stronger and wiser and have fully embraced the team concept. You see them going out and getting Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Make no mistake about it, the Celtics front office had to speak with those guys. And for them to be okay with so many other guys who can come in and average 20 points a game, it shows you that they're past the accolades phase where they're going to get their all-star selections or attempts at MVP awards or scoring titles. They're completely past that. They've been through the NBA Finals losses, the heartbreaking early playoff exit losses. So with them approaching their mid to late 20s, they're at that sweet spot where they begin to let go of the personal accolades. They already have their footprint in the league, and now they're trying to establish themselves historically. But taking a look at Game 5 and the Celtics' offensive adjustments, pulling out the Mavericks big man down low, as we've seen in Game 4, the Mavericks emphasize a switch with Lively or Gafford down low to at least have someone to protect the rim. And in that transition to the closeout game, the Celtics initiated a game plan to make sure that the Mavs big men are pulled out of the paint. And here's some prime examples of it right here. Check out Al Horford as he's going to make his way down. He's going to drag Gafford away from the hoop and force him to make a decision, either to guard him way out here or get involved in this pick and roll action that's going to be ran in between Tatum and Drew Holiday. So as soon as he's making his run in the corner to force Gafford to make that decision, they're running pick and roll right here. Look at Drew. Easy access. Once again, Gafford being forced to make tough decisions. Look where he's guarding Al Horford at. While this pick and roll action happens here, and look at all the space. Check out Drew. Drew has plenty of space to operate. And this is the power of the 5-out offense by the Boston Celtics. Everyone can make shots, and it's taking away that rim protection. Now right here off this rebound, you're going to see the Celtics players. This is the power of this offense. You have 5 guys that have high basketball IQ. And Horford, he trails right here off that rebound on purpose. Especially with Gafford the past few possessions being taken away from being the low man. But he's used to getting back on defense, instantly covering that low post area. And this is where you see Horford trails on purpose and takes full advantage of it. And Celtics right here showing numerous counters from when they pulled the big man out. Lively way out here. Now Horford, he was stuck on Kyrie. But notice how right here PJ is instantly going to make the switch onto Horford. He points to Kyrie to cover Hauser. But once again, the Celtics, all 5 guys, are playing with high basketball IQ. Look at Hauser. He instantly notices that. He pulls Kyrie right back into the action. But watch the adjustments that they make. It's a ghost screen, and he's open for the 3. This right here is what made it tough for the Dallas Mavericks. They had to be perfect for the rest of the way, just for this to even go 6 games. The Celtics were just clicking as a unit, not only defensively, but offensively as well. So Jason Tatum right here gets the switch. And even with the Boston Celtics clicking as an offensive unit, it's only a matter of time before your superstar just kicks in. And with him having Lively on him, now they're going to pick on Luka. And he rejects the screen, and he finishes right through all this contact. And this is where your stars come through, and Tatum is ready for the moment. And Al Horford just all game long setting these pin down screens, just forcing guys to get on him. Right here, the Celtics want the Mavs as far as rim protection. The Mavs all season long have been one of the worst rim protecting teams. And after that trade deadline, them implementing Gafford and PJ kind of improved their odds a little bit more. But at the end of the day, Lively way out here, it's only a matter of time. And Tatum, unlike the 2022 NBA Finals, especially games 4, 5, and 6, he is improving his playmaking skills, and he is not settling. He could have easily have settled right here for a step back 3. And right here, he shows he's not shy to be that playmaker and gets Drew Holiday an easy bucket. So right here on the switch, Tatum gets the favorable matchup against Luka. But here's a conundrum for the Mavs. As you see right here, Lively and Green exchanging communication. Lively wants to switch because, once again, they want rim protection down here. Tatum is picking his poison. He knows Lively's down there, so having Luka way out here is not necessarily going to be a problem for him. Cash. Celtics having numerous ways of making the Dallas Mavericks pay. You see Gafford right here serving as the low man, but look at Horford. Wide open. It's going to make him pay. The rim protection for the Dallas Mavericks all night long had to pick their poison. Now right here, Lively in this closeout, he's trying to defend that shot by Horford. But at the same time, the Celtics big man proving he's versatile as he attacks the hoop and gets the foul. Once again, this was the conundrum all series long for the Mavericks. The Celtics just had too many guys who could not only knock down threes, but could put the ball down on the floor and take mid-range shots. They could attack the hoop. Just so much offensive versatilities with all 5 guys on the floor. And when you combine that with the Mavs not necessarily having strong perimeter defense, just allowing guys like Tatum and Brown to easily penetrate that defense, and you have Gafford and a rookie and Lively down low, it's only a matter of time. So in order for the Mavs offense to get it going, let's take a look at some of the spacing they created in game 4. They crowded up 2 around the baseline. Look at all the space in the middle right here. And look at where Luka's at. So once Jalen Brown tries to help in, he's not really going to fully make that commitment. See, he kind of stunts in. He's going to go right back to Luka. Can't leave him open there. And look at all the space a guy like Kyrie has to operate in. And also PJ at the corner. They're going to have to choose which corner shooter to give up the shot to. And the Celtics all series long has played it very close to the hip, making sure that they don't give up these type of shots. They rather give it up to PJ anywhere from around here, or even Jones Jr. Now taking a look at it from Luka's angle, as we see Kyrie right here, as Drew's going to begin to stunt in a little bit, but he's not going to make that full commitment because he doesn't want to leave Kyrie open from here. And we're going to see our corner shooters, PJ right here in his sweet spot. And we're going to see Jones Jr. make his way to the corner to put Jalen Brown in a compromising position, whether he's going to commit or give up that corner shot. And look at all the spacing Luka has to operate right here. This is his bag. Just like Kyrie, he could finish these. As we're going to see here once again, look where Luka's at. Tatum is compromised. Is he going to fully commit on that stunt? I think not. Does not want to leave Luka open. Definitely is not going to do that. But look at all the spacing right here. Look at the two Dallas players right on the baseline. This is how Dallas created a lot of spacing for Luka and Kyrie to get points in the paint. And they cooked on this all game long. And when the Celtics began to apply more pressure, the shooters like PJ Washington, Dante Exum, Lively, Keebler, Derrick Jones Jr., they all got into the action. And guys like Luka can improvise. As we see Dante Exum right here, Drew more than likely is probably going to commit on this stunt. But look at the Dallas Mavericks players. They're all bunched up, creating a lot of spacing right here. And Luka's going to improvise and attack this empty spacing. So how the Celtics defense adjusted to this in Game 5 was to basically take Luka out of place, applying ball pressure on him early throughout the game, getting him fatigued, and also a combination of great help defense from Jrue Holiday and Derek White, along with Al Horford and Jalen Brown, of course. This has been the true MVP of the Boston Celtics because all 5 players that are usually on the floor, even going from Hauser to Pritchard, can defend players one-on-one and have been applying great pressure. But the combination of Derek White, Jrue Holiday, and Jalen Brown applying pressure early messed up the flow of the Mavs offense just between Kyrie Irving and Luka trying to get to their spots. Now right here on Kyrie on this double screen for a screener right here. Usually the Mavs love running this for Luka and Kyrie, but look at the communication between White and Jrue Holiday on this switch. It's not over yet. Jrue is going to pick up the roll man. Great communication right here. White is going to go back. Look at the communication. And now Kyrie is one-on-one with Tatum. And this has always been Kyrie's conundrum. It's not only getting past Tatum, getting past the help. The help is going to be Jalen Brown and Jrue. That's a hell of a feat for even a guy like Kyrie, as he's going to get stripped right here. Once again, the Celtics apply a little bit ball pressure early on, but it's the combination of them having versatile defenders. Check out Hauser right here, 6'7". They never have to double team. Does a great job keeping up with Luka. So even at the point of attack for Luka or Kyrie, everyone on the floor, even guys coming off the bench, can stick with their man one-on-one. They don't have to give up that double team, thus drawing a pass for the Mavs from the corners or from anywhere from 3. Now right here, you're going to watch Jalen Brown completely take Luka out the play. And this has been a strategy all game long. Luka can't get the ball back. Exum settles and he knocks down the shot. But at the end of the day, the Celtics are forcing other role players like Green, Keebler, PJ to make some shots. And things like this do give a lot of kudos to Jalen Brown for MVP, because defensively he has been the anchor of disrupting such a big whale like Luka, while at the same time doing a great job with the help defense, and he provides the scoring and playmaking on the other end. In a way, he almost sounds like a baby Giannis in his playoff peak back in 2021. Now eventually they had PJ bring the ball up due to all the ball pressure from Jalen Brown. But interesting conundrum right here with the pick and roll, or just Kyrie trying to do a pin down screen on Brown. Meanwhile, the bull, Jrue Holiday, is on Luka. You have 2 strong guys. This is real tough. Look at Kyrie trying to force this pin down. This is kind of crazy. Jalen Brown's so much stronger than him. And Jalen Brown showing you right here why he's MVP. Check out this steal. And White losing his tooth right there, but it's all worth it. For that championship is worth it. Now the Celtics right here on this staggered screen is defending on a level of the San Antonio Spurs back in 2014 going up against LeBron. They're that in sync, and this is why the superstar mold, these Jason Tatum talks, now why isn't he averaging like 30 points a game in the finals? This is where defenses like this kind of shows you one guy cannot take on 5 players when they're this much in sync. Check out Al Horford right here on this roll. He switches right on Exum. Hauser is right on Jones Jr. And look at Drew Holiday on the other side. He's going to make a switch right here. Drew Holiday switches. And then Hauser's going to switch right back on Kyrie. They're reading these screens really nice. And then he deflects it. See? The higher up you go in any playoffs of any NBA era, the harder it gets. Because usually those teams consist of 7 to 8 players who are in sync defensively. That's why a lot of superstars who tend to be the solo act, that's where they're always going to hit the wall. And the same way we seen Luka played earlier in the season, where he was averaging almost 36 points per game. We never seen it translate on this level. It's because of defenses like this.